What's the importance of being a real man of God and being that healthy father figure to your kids?
I think this day and age, I mean, a father figure is very important for both men and women. My wife's father wasn't in her life, and even now I still see the effects. And when we talk and we talk about different things that she missed and that she desires to have, that it's like, wow, and for me it builds me up because it lets me know what type of man I need to be. Same situation with me. My father was there, but he was in the military, so he was gone, and it wasn't until I got older and I built a relationship with him that got stronger, and I realized, like, man, I felt like I had so many empty pockets in my life, but to have a man that you could to build your life after, to find that approval that gives you that sureness of yourself, I mean, man, it's incredible. I've also done some prison ministry, and I've spoken, and that's the exact topic that I've spoken about, because it's like without a father, a lot of men grow up angry. I mean, it's just talking to them. It's a lot of men that just deal with anger issues, and I have gotten to the point where it's like, God, I thank you for opening my eyes to the subject, because we as men, I mean, you have kids fathering kids, man, and that's what makes it hard, because if you have a 16-year-old, 17-year-old trying to be a father, it's like at some point he's going to be 21, he wants to live his life. It's like, how can a kid be a father? And I think that as a man, we need to grow up, stand up, and show the younger generation of men how to be a man first and a man of God before you can claim to be a father.
What are some of those characteristics that you do want to instill in your kids? And maybe there's a lot of kids watching without father. What are some of those key things you want to impart into your kids?
One is just always honor God. Always honor God, and if there's any trouble, if there's anything, you can always find a way out through Him. And when it comes to just being a man, I want to lead by example. Of course, every man wants their boy to be the manly man and be the physical big guy. You want to be proud of your son, but your son is going to be a reflection of you, regardless. So the environment that you create is the environment that your son's going to grow up in. So I think for fathers out there that are being mentors or anything to a younger generation, is just show them how to be a man first, be a pure man and a man of God, and everything else will take care of itself.
Did your family play a major part in where you are today?
I would definitely say so. I think my dad, my mom, I think they helped raise me in a decent way. I think where I am today is the person that people see. It's like the perfect mixture between my mom and my dad, personality-wise. Like the schools that I picked, my schoolwork, everything when I was growing up, they were a huge part in.
Family is very important. Who were people in your family and that kind of helped in your faith and helped provide role modelship for you?
It was my mother. My father passed away when I was young, and she was forced, to have twin boys and an older kid that was 15, and she had to take on the role of being mommy and dad, and it wasn't always easy, but I think she was my key role model, and for her to have two sons in the NFL. We're fortunate. Her work is really the reason why we're able to play in this league.
Well, I'll say this much: Jesus first, and then our marriage, and then our children, and then ministry and work. So in that clear order, and Charlotte and I have talked about it, my wife, and talked about it, keeping clear distinctions on what the priorities are, because it's all about Jesus. 1 Corinthians 2:2 says, "For I determined to know nothing among you except Jesus Christ and Him crucified." So my role as a husband, I'm trying to help my bride love Jesus more. My role as a father is discipling my children to love Jesus more. In my role in football or whatever, I want to pursue excellence so that Jesus is glorified, and you open up relationships to spread the gospel message of Jesus Christ. What else is there?
I'm big on family. That's one of my big things that I love. I have a wife and son. They'll be flying out here to join me in this great stage that I'm on. But I grew up around my family, real close, and it's just, putting yourself second, to whoever may come up, doing everything, sacrificing, and just being a great guy, being a great leader, a husband, great father, all of those things. That's what's big for me and family.
I think that when you keep Jesus first in your marriage, it keeps you guys on one accord, keeps you on the same page. And when things do get tough, you both can go to God in prayer. And, you know, there's been times where if me and my wife weren't on point, you know, there's disaster. You know, it's like I don't understand her, she doesn't understand me. You know, it's like we're speaking two different languages. But, you know, when we pray together, when we fast together, when we understand, you know, that Jesus comes first, man, it definitely changes, one, as a man, my respect and how I honor my wife, and I could say the same for her. So it's like treating her like a precious jewel, man, and really understanding that she is a gift and a blessing to me.
I know we actually started going to couples Bible study, and you just see the work that you have to put into your marriage for it to work. I mean, a lot of people go and get married and think after you get married it's all going to be all said and done. They don't realize the amount of work, and I just going through and just listening from both ends of the perspective of the couple Bible study just really allows me to open my eyes and see that the amount of work that I'm going to have to do when it comes to being a husband.
Your dad and I came in the league the same time together in 1976.
Yes, sir.
Heard you talking about your dad. Tell me a little bit about just what family means to you.
You know, I think family is so important in my home, in my life growing up. It was family and our relationship with Jesus, and that's what really drove our home, and that still drives our home to this day. You know, the relationship that I've been able to have with my parents over the years has been great, and I'm so thankful that God gave me those parents and they raised me the way they did, because I've really learned a lot about being a man and about the importance of family.
You know, how big of an impact did your dad, great All-Pro, played in the game for 20 years, how big of an impact, looking back, did he have on your success today here in the NFL?
I think I owe a lot to my dad. Really, he's been more influential on my career than anybody I've come across in my life. And, you know, he really taught me how to work. And I think that's the biggest thing. Obviously, we played two different positions, but he taught me the value of work ethic and taught me the value of, you know, sacrifice. I don't remember a lot about my dad as far as his playing on the field, but I do remember his preparation. I do remember the hours he put in lifting and running. And I think that work ethic is something that I've tried to model and take from him.
I can tell you for sure, he was one of the very first ones always there, one of the last ones to leave. It would not take nothing but your best effort. Being a tight end, standing right behind, he got on to me all the time. Let's get it, Barber. Let's get it, Barber. But, you know, the game of football is awesome, of course. But, you know, there's a deeper value inside you, and it's because of your parents, you know.
Yes, sir.
Family today is more important than ever, you know. And,
yes, sir.
you know, the game of football, it's awesome. This is amazing here. But when it's all said and done, your foundation came from your family and the values.
Yes, no question. You know, football obviously was a big part of life growing up, but that was maybe third or fourth on the list for my dad. He understood that family couldn't be replaced and that the value of family meant so much. And I think being raised in a home with two parents really meant a lot for me and my brother. To have that good male influence meant the world to us. And then, as I mentioned earlier, our relationship with Christ meant so much to us. It was important that we had direction and purpose beyond the game of football, because football is temporary. For all of us, at some point, we'll be done, and hopefully there's a lot more life to live. And you think about the relationship you have with Christ, which him and I believe and my family believe lasts for eternity, and then the relationship you have with family. And family, you know, you don't choose your family. God gives you your family. And it's so important that you value the family. And I think the home and the family has kind of been devalued here the last 10, 15 years, but it's so important, and that's something that he really preached, you know, was, you know, our family's gonna be strong together and have one another's backs, and that's something that I've tried to take and I will take on, you know, as I move on in life.